Hey, what up? I'm Gnash, and you're here with Buzz, and we're going to talk about stuff.
I'm looking outside for an angle to put a picture frame around a rainbow. They say it never rains in LA, but today the sky is kind of gray.
When I was a kid, when I was like 13, my dad got me a DJ turntable, like MIDI controller thing, because I never really fit in at school dances and stuff like that. And I really liked the idea of being the vibe conductor and not like just part of the crowd, and kind of setting the tone. So I started DJing parties in high school and stuff like that. And I started interning for a record label right near my house. And I really loved like listening to demos and stuff like that. And basically, I kind of just did that sort of work through high school. I worked under this dude, Cisco Adler, for a long time, who was half of a group called Swayze, and he's an amazing producer and songwriter, so I learned a lot from him. I grew up a huge fan of their stuff, and basically all that work kind of resulted in me going to USC to study music industry, because I thought I was going to go into entertainment law, and I thought that'd be a good place to start. And I knew I always wanted to be in the entertainment business, I just didn't know in what capacity, basically. So towards the end of college, I started dropping covers of different songs. So I did one of Baby Batch Sugar Sugar, and then I did a Coco cover, an OT Genesis cover. And the Coco cover was like weird and unique and interesting enough to like kind of do a thing on SoundCloud. So I was like, all right, like I kind of have a thing here. This is cool. Because previously I'd just been using SoundCloud. This is like 2014 for DJ mixes. So I took all my DJ mixes down and I was like, I'm just going to start mixing these covers in. And about the same time, I was going through my first like real breakup as like kind of a post-teen entering adulthood. And I wanted to make music about it. So I had this idea to make 3 EPs called You, Me, and Us. And that was going to be the journey through the breakup, finding myself, and then finding something new. And by the end of that process, one of those songs is called I Hate You, I Love You, that I put out as a single that was part of Us. And that built into now what is a multi-billion stream record. And then I signed a deal with Atlantic when that was kind of rolling independently, and they took it to radio and did a bunch of amazing stuff. And then I started working on my first album, which took me a really long time because no one really warns you about how much work goes into the promotion and the business side of music, the not so fun stuff. So I was touring and I was doing radio promo and all this stuff. So it took me about 3 years to make my second record, or my first record. Felt like my second record because I had the EPs. And I put We out in 2019, and it's now a gold record, which I'm really proud of. And so I guess what I'm saying is I never really made the decision to do this. I just kind of the universe made the decision for me, I guess, you know?
Faded red, short sleeves. I can't forget the way you looked without your jeans on. It's in my drawer and you're all I dream. So I had to let you know you left it here with me.
I've just started a record label in the last 2 years called Overall, this is the logo with my partner and my manager. And we've got 4 artists signed to that, and it's really cool because they're all about to have moments in their career similar, hopefully zeitgeist type of orca moments. And I'm able to be like, hey, like really soak this in. Like, this is cool. You know, when we hit 1 million streams on a song, I'm like, yo, like let me buy you dinner tonight. Like, this is really cool, you know, and kind of really appreciate the baby steps as opposed to just looking forward to the next thing. But yeah, the cards kind of fell how they did, and I'm grateful for that. And I had the background somewhat from college and things like that to be able to deal with it better than maybe others might. And I'm in a really favorable position with Atlantic. I have a great relationship with them, and things have gone really well. And I'm really grateful. And it's cool because it's all just about music. I don't think about it like a business. I think about it creatively, you know, as you can see from the room here. Something that I've been really focused on the last couple years here with starting the label, excuse me, is separating the ego that comes with an artist project inherently from the lack thereof with the artist I'm working on, right? Because in a lot of ways, my artist project, I mean, we all have an ego, right? The reason we all get out of bed in the morning and take a shower and look presentable is because we have an ego. But I think the people that have that slightly more inflated are the people that are attracted towards being the center of attention. And I think that really with the record label, it's been an amazing exercise in me putting my ego in the back seat and allowing the real purpose of the label to be, if the artist is happy, I'm happy. And learning that my opinion is not the greatest value. And I think that it's not only making me a better mentor for these artists, but it's making me a better songwriter and a better producer for other people's work. and for my work, because I do a lot of co-writes, I do a lot of collaboration with my stuff. And it's been cool because it's allowed me to open up and break away from the feelings I keep in my rib cage and really listen and be receptive to the people in the room. And my biggest thing when I make a song, it now, especially in the last couple of years, has been like, when I put this song out we're making today, if I do, I want everybody in this room to feel like they put a single out that day. So let's make sure everybody has a piece of themselves in this record beyond what I think it needs to be, because I don't know all the answers. Nobody does. So that's been something that has been really great in separating the artist from the executive, is just this a lack of opinion on things has actually been really freeing, because it can only go one of two ways when someone doesn't listen to you. Either they do what they want and it works out great, or they do what they want and it doesn't work out great, and they come and ask you for an opinion next time. So I've been learning to kind of put that in the back seat and be like, you know what, like this is their career and they need to make these decisions. And that's been really, really great in all aspects, even on my stuff. It's been really cool. I grew up obviously doing parties and playing a lot of rap records and the new YG mixtape song or whatever, right? I grew up in LA. And so that was a lot of that. And then I would get in the car, and to decompress on the drive home, I would put on Bright Eyes or Death Cab for Cutie. And so I think that duality has kind of presented itself really clearly in my work, with like, these are where I'm rapping in full voice and it's produced out. And then these are my little acoustic folk songs, you know? And finding that bridge, it happens every now and then on songs. I also think a lot of the stuff that's more filled out and produced are records that either came to me in that state already, that I was like, this record's hot. Because there's a 50% of my brain that works like an A&R at the end of the day, which is why I think it's working well as an executive. And then there's the other side of me that's just this little creative artist that wants to get his songs out there and doesn't really care how they sound. He just wants the lyrics on the page, you know? And I also think that, you know, in a lot of ways, that's the duality I think you can agree of. Like a lot of great artists is kind of the intricacy and the beauty of the B-sides, and then the singles are the ones that are maybe a little bit more built out. And then every now and then you get one of those amazing moments where it crosses over, which in a lot of ways I think is what happened with Hate You Love You, where you do have the intimacy and the emotional closeness of the lyric and the world that song presents, but it's also produced in a way that was a top 40 record, you know? And I'm very grateful for that. So yeah, so I think that's where it comes from. I have everything categorized in folders in my drives. And a big thing for me is that if I win and if I do pass eventually, I want everything unlocked completely in a form of a database that people can access, reuse, and repurpose however they'd like. I'm stealing that a bit from Dolly Parton, who's doing a very similar thing, but I think it's a really incredible way to open the vault and allow creativity to live forever. So I don't want anything that I make to be a controlled substance, but I do, while I'm here, want to make sure that it's presented in a way that I agree with. And so for now, there are probably about 50 or 60 songs I made during the process. And when I say songs, I mean, we got a verse and a hook and a great chord progression and a cool track. They're not songs. They're not complete songs. That probably won't see the light of day in my lifetime, but definitely eventually I'll have out there. Just because I don't believe in keeping the butterfly in the cocoon, for lack of a better analogy. Yeah. Hi, my name is Gnash and you've just been buzzed.